Imagine that the electricity went out right now and won't return for 90 days. Will you and your family be okay? Not just survive, but truly feel good? The thing is, most people do not realize this until it is too late. The first 48 hours after the power outage is when 90% of people use up all their food, water, and resources. And then they find themselves completely dependent on what happens next. But what I will tell you in the next few minutes will help you join the 5% who are ready for such situations and can survive a power outage without panic or despair, relying on no one else. My name is Zach. I have been preparing since 2012 and have spent over 10 years testing, refining, and actually using equipment and strategies that truly work, unlike what sounds good on paper. Today, you will receive an exact list of 11 items covering everything from providing your family with food and water to maintaining warmth, health, and connection as the rest of the world plunges into darkness. No theories, no fluff, only practical advice that I rely on and you can start using today, even on a limited budget. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what you need, why it matters, how to use it, and where beginners make mistakes that could cost them everything. This is your complete survival plan for a scenario no one wants to talk about, but everyone should be prepared for. Let's begin. The first point is long-term food supplies. When the electricity goes out, your food situation changes in an instant. The refrigerator is full of food. You have only 4 hours before it turns into a science experiment. The freezer, 48 hours at most if you don't open it. And that dinner in the microwave you planned, this is just a frozen brick of disappointment. This is where having normal long-term food supplies becomes not just reasonable, but absolutely necessary. I'm not talking about just tossing a few packs of crackers into the pantry and calling myself prepared. I mean creating a real stock of food, rich in calories and nutrients, that can feed you and your family for 90 days without access to electricity or fresh produce. This is what you need to understand. An average person requires between 1,500 to 2,500 calories a day just to maintain basic body functions. Multiply this by 90 days, and you will get at least 135,000 calories per person. Suddenly, the pack of ramen doesn't seem so impressive, does it? Let's start with the best examples of emergency food: freeze-dried meals. Brands like Mountain House and ReadyWise have completely changed the approach to emergency food storage. You simply add water, hot or cold, and within a few minutes you have beef stroganoff, scrambled eggs, or chili with pasta on your table, which are actually delicious. Yes, I conducted blind tastings, and people were shocked by the taste. These dishes are packed in special bags. They are lightweight and can be stored on the shelf for up to 25 years. This means that you buy groceries once, change them periodically, and have food security for decades. The most important thing is efficiency. One package usually contains 500 to 800 calories, and you get real proteins, carbohydrates, and even vegetables. This is not just food for survival. It is nourishment that allows you to function at a high level. Now let's talk about the base of any serious food storage: rice, pasta, beans, and oats. These products are the main sources of carbohydrates and are absolutely necessary because they are inexpensive, can be stored for a long time with proper handling, and have incredible versatility. White rice, properly packaged in vacuum bags with oxygen absorbers, can be stored for 30 years. 30 years. The same applies to pasta and oatmeal. Dried beans can be stored for 25 to 30 years. For a sum of $100 to $200, you can buy enough of these staple foods to feed one person for 90 days. Pack vacuum bags into 5-gallon buckets, label them, and forget about them until you need them. But what no one says about grains in large quantities is that they are terribly boring by themselves. Therefore, they need to be combined with canned goods. Canned meats such as tuna, chicken, and salmon, as well as canned beans, vegetables, soups, and stews. These are your sources of protein, flavor enhancers, and morale-boosting products. After 2 weeks of monotonous rice meals, a can of black beans with chili and some canned tomatoes turns into a gourmet dish. Believe me, the psychological effect of food that is truly delicious cannot be underestimated in a crisis situation. Canned goods also require no preparation. Just open it and eat. It's important when you're tired, your fuel reserves are low, or you just can't handle cooking. Try to choose cans with pull-tab lids, because searching for a can opener in the dark when you are hungry and tense is not a pleasant task. Now let me tell you about 2 products that may seem simple, but are real game changers: peanut butter and powdered milk. Peanut butter is a golden survival product. It is filled with healthy fats, proteins, and enough calories to keep you moving, even when you're at your limit. In 1 tablespoon, there are about 100 calories, and it doesn't require refrigeration even after opening. Keep a dozen cans in your pantry and use them as needed. You will thank me when you need quick energy and everything else requires cooking. Powdered milk may not win awards for glamour, but it is incredibly useful. It provides you with calcium, protein, and becomes a true savior when you prepare mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, oatmeal, or even just a cup of coffee. Buy what lasts long and learn to dilute it properly. It will never taste like fresh milk, but it's better than nothing. And if you want an absolutely simple option, then emergency food buckets are what you need. These are pre-packaged buckets of complete frozen meals that only require the addition of water. No measuring, portioning, or thinking. Just open, add water, and eat. Companies like Austin on Farms, Legacy Food Storage, and ReadyWise offer kits for 30, 60, and 90 days. They are specially designed for long-term emergencies and maximum comfort. Yes, they cost more upfront, but peace of mind is worth the expense. When chaos reigns around, the ability to grab a bucket and know you have 30 days of ready-to-eat food is priceless. The main thing to remember, food is not just fuel. It is comfort. This is normalcy. It is what helps maintain sanity when the world seems broken. Without a reliable food supply, everything becomes more difficult. You cannot think clearly, cannot make the right decisions, cannot care for your family. So stock up on supplies now, while the shelves are not empty, to avoid regrets and an empty pantry. The 10th is water storage and purification systems. Without food, you can survive for several weeks if absolutely necessary. Your body will burn fat reserves, slow down metabolism, and keep you alive. But with water, you have only 3 to 5 days before the situation becomes critical. When the electricity goes out and the municipal water supply system stops working, the tap you open daily becomes useless. You have officially exited the aquatic network, and hydration becomes the #1 priority. Here are the important figures to know. The standard recommendation is 1 gallon of water per person per day. This covers consumption, simple cooking, and minimal hygiene. For 90 days of disconnection, one person will need 90 gallons. A family of 4 needs 360 gallons. Yes, that's a lot. Yes, it's necessary. Let's talk about storage. You have several options. 55-gallon water barrels are the gold standard if you have the space. They are designed for storing supplies, can be stacked, and you can fill them from the tap before an emergency. Add a concentrate to preserve water so that it stays fresh for up to 5 years. If you don't have space for large barrels, use several containers with a capacity of 5 to 7 gallons. Aquitainer and Reliance are reliable brands. They can be hidden in cabinets, under beds, in the garage, anywhere. The main thing is to fill them before you need them. An empty water container is of no use. However, the reality is that even if you stock up on 100 gallons, you will need a way to purify additional water, as barrels can run dry, and rainwater, river, and pond water are unsafe to drink without treatment. Here, portable water filters come to the rescue. Life Straw, Sawyer Mini, and Katadyn are small, lightweight, and incredibly effective filters. They remove 99.99% of bacteria and parasites. You can fill a bottle from a questionable source, filter the water, and drink it safely. These filters can purify thousands of gallons. They require no electricity and are compact enough to fit in an emergency backpack. I have 3 such filters in stock because having backups matters. If one breaks, gets lost, or gets contaminated, I have spares. If you are looking for the simplest solution for water purification, tablets or drops for water purification will be your best helpers. Brands like Portable Aqua and AquaTabs offer affordable, lightweight, and effective options. Drop 1 tablet into a liter of water, wait 30 minutes, and the water becomes safe to drink. This is the perfect option for spare backpacks or as a backup when your filter is unavailable. The downside is that they may leave a slight chemical taste, but honestly, when you're really thirsty, it won't matter. Now let's talk about how to carry water. If you need to walk half a mile to a stream or collect rainwater, you will need a way to bring it back to your shelter. Collapsible water containers are perfect for this task. They fold compactly for storage, expand to hold several gallons, and are easy to carry. I recommend having at least 2 or 3 containers of different sizes. And don't forget about collecting rainwater. If you have gutters on your house, install a simple system with a 55-gallon barrel and a mesh for filtering debris. Rainwater is not automatically safe to drink, but if you filter it or purify it with tablets, you will have a renewable source of water without leaving your property. Here is the truth. Water is not a subject for discussion. You can endure discomfort, cold, even hunger for a while. But without water, everything stops very quickly. Your body stops functioning, your brain starts to get confused, and you make poor decisions. In survival conditions, poor decisions can lead to fatal consequences. Store as much water as you can. have several methods for further purification. Treat every drop as a precious resource. When the cranes stop working, water will become the most valuable resource you have. The next step is a solar generator and battery bank. You have food, you have water, you are full and hydrated. But when the sun sets and your home turns into a dark cave of silence, reality hits you in the face. You need electricity not for convenience, but for survival, because some things must remain charged. Flashlights, emergency radios, medical devices, communication phones, these are not just pleasant things, they are a necessity. And this is where a solar generator becomes one of the smartest investments you can make. Forget about the old gasoline generators that consume fuel, are noisy, and emit smoke. I am talking about clean, quiet, solar-powered portable energy sources from brands like Jackery, Bluey, EcoFlow, and Go Zero. These devices change the game. Set up a solar panel in the sun, connect it to your power source, and voila, you get electricity just from sunlight, without fuel, without smoke, without noise. These devices can power your appliances for several days and recharge every time the sun rises. Here is what you can power from a good solar generator: phones, tablets, laptops, LEDs and lamps, battery chargers, emergency radios, portable fans, mini refrigerators if your system allows, sleep devices for people with apnea, even small electric kitchen appliances like an induction stove or a multi-cooker if you have enough power. The main thing is to understand wattage and capacity. A device with a power of 500 watts can charge your phone dozens of times. A 200-watt device can support critical systems for several days. Look into this matter. Calculate what exactly you need to power and buy the corresponding equipment. Here's a professional tip. Create a layered power system. Acquire a large solar generator as the main unit. Then add several smaller solar batteries as backups. These compact devices are the size of a brick. They charge from sunlight or via USB during the day, providing enough power to charge phones, tablets, or operate small lamps at night. Some of them are even equipped with built-in flashlights and several charging ports. Put one in your emergency bag, one in the car, and one in the emergency kit. You will never regret having extra energy. Now let's talk about what everyone forgets: cables, adapters, and batteries. Because at the very moment you urgently need a flashlight, its batteries will be dead, and you will only have AA batteries when AAA are needed. Keep a special organizer with spare charging cables for USB-C, micro USB, Lightning, as well as various power adapters and car chargers. Stock up on rechargeable batteries of types AA, AAEA, C, and D. Get a good charger that can connect to your solar generator. This will ensure the reliability of your entire power system and save you from annoying moments when you have energy, but no suitable connector. Let me give you a real example from my life. In 2017, we had a week of power outages after a severe ice storm. I had a solar generator, a panel, and a supply of rechargeable batteries. While my neighbors were in darkness on the second day, I charged phones, turned on the lights, and kept our emergency radio running the whole time. It wasn't about comfort. It was important to stay informed, maintain connections, and preserve a certain level of normalcy when everything around was in chaos. This is the power of preparation. The thing is, when everything plunges into darkness, energy is what connects you to the outside world. It allows you to receive emergency notifications, call for help, or just communicate with family. This helps maintain mental health, as you do not sit in complete darkness, immersing yourself in the worst scenarios. Invest in solar energy. Stock up on batteries. Keep your systems backed up, because the sun will rise every day, but your phone won't charge itself. Speaking about preparation, I want to take a moment to share what I have prepared specifically for people who are serious about preparing but may feel overwhelmed by uncertainty about where to start. Because this is what I learned from more than a decade of preparation. The main reason people are not ready for difficult times is not the lack of desire. The thing is that many believe that this requires large resources, a lot of time, or special knowledge. But this is not true. I created a completely free guide that explains how to turn $50 into food supplies for 90 days. Yes, just $50. This is not a theoretical plan, but a specific shopping list that I have used and improved over many years, detailing specific brands, prices, and step-by-step instructions suitable for both houses and apartments. In this guide, you will find an exact shopping list for $50 that will provide your family with food for over 90 days, including specific brands and prices to avoid unnecessary questions. It also lists 37 essential items for preparation, most of which people don't even think about, and number 23 will astonish you. Moreover, a simple storage solution suitable for any home or apartment, even if you have no space at all, and emergency meals that can be prepared without fuel or electricity. A snack from a gas station, perfect for trading if the situation gets really bad. A step-by-step guide on how to increase supplies from 1 week to 3 months with confidence. Storage strategies to keep your supplies organized and fresh for years. And one oil that lasts long and is safe. It's all completely free. I'm not selling anything. I'm just sharing what I've learned so you can protect your family. If you want to receive this guide, the link is in the description below or in the pinned comment. Just click on it, specify where to send it, and it's yours. No credit card, no tricks, just useful information you can use right now. Now about lighting solutions. Now that you have the ability to charge devices, have you thought about how to light the way when surrounded by utter darkness and your home resembles a horror movie scene? Because when the electricity goes out for real, your cute desk lamp won't help. You need light sources that don't depend on electricity or hope. Although candles can create a cozy atmosphere, they pose a serious fire hazard. Moreover, they burn faster than your patience in the dark. You really need tools that last long, consume little energy, and effectively illuminate the space. Let's start with solar lanterns. These are true heroes of post-apocalyptic lighting. They charge during the day in the sun, and at night provide a soft yet bright light that can last for hours. Some models work all night on a full charge. Many of them have USB ports, allowing them to be used for charging a phone or radio, making them multifunctional. Brands like Empowered, Lucy, and Go Zero Lighthouse are simply amazing. Moreover, no fuel costs, noise, or mess, just sunlight and good vibes. Next, LED flashlights. These are not the flashlights that devour batteries like candy and barely illuminate a room. Modern LED flashlights are incredibly bright, surprisingly efficient, and last for years. A quality LED flashlight can illuminate your entire yard or help you navigate in complete darkness without draining batteries in an hour. I am talking about brands like Streamlight, Phoenix, and Encore. Buy one for each room, one for the car, one for the emergency backpack, and one under the pillow, like a true prepared person. Combine them with rechargeable batteries and solar charging, and you will have a sustainable source of light for months. Now I will talk about headlamps. If you have never worn one, your life will change. Lighting that does not require the use of hands is a luxury in ordinary times, and an absolute find during a blackout. Cooking, repairing something, walking in the dark, reading. A headlamp allows you to do all this without trying to hold the flashlight in your teeth like a surviving pirate. They are lightweight, adjustable, and most modern models are LED with rechargeable batteries. Buy a few of them, and you will be amazed at how you lived without them. But what to do if the sun does not shine? The batteries are dead, and light is still needed. Here, hand crank lanterns come to the rescue. You just turn them by hand. No sunlight, no batteries, no excuses. A couple of minutes of cranking will give you enough light to handle any strange scenario that may arise during a power outage. Plus, it's strangely pleasant. It's like old-school fitness meets emergency readiness. Brands like Eaton and Running Snail produce reliable handheld flashlights that also include radio receivers and phone chargers. And finally, don't forget about the humble glowing sticks. Yes, they won't light up the room, but they are great for signaling, marking paths, or simply creating a cozy light for you or your children at night. You break one, throw it into a tent or corridor, and voila, you have atmospheric lighting for several hours. They are inexpensive, cheerful, and surprisingly useful. Keep a stock of various colors. Ultimately, light is not only visibility, but also safety, comfort, and the maintenance of mental health. When the world is plunged into darkness, a well-lit shelter lifts the spirits, reduces the likelihood of accidents, and preserves your mental health when it seems like the night lasts forever. Do not skimp on lighting. Your future self will thank you. The next item is multi-tools and hand tools. You have food, water, energy, and light. You are on the right path, but now it's time to talk about the tools that will help you cope when the world decides to press the Control-Alt-Delete combination on civilization. Because when there is no electricity, no repair crew, and no YouTube tutorials to fix the broken, you are left alone with the problem, and you need to be ready to fight against a multitude of tasks, not just with duct tape and hope. Here, hand tools and multi-tools become your best friends. Let's start with the most important thing, the multi-tool. If survival had a Swiss Army knife moment, this is it. Choose your brand, but take quality. One tool, endless possibilities. You have pliers, screwdrivers, blades, scissors, wire cutters, bottle openers, saws, and sometimes even a file or ruler. Regardless of whether you need to fix a broken hinge, open a stubborn can, cut a rope, trim a wire, tighten a screw, or get out of a strange situation, a reliable multi-tool is always at hand, and it fits in my pocket. I always carry such a tool with me because I've used it for everything. From field repairs to cooking and emergency situations, this is the tool that one must have. Now let's talk about something seemingly simple, but vital. A manual can opener. Seriously, you might have a pantry full of 200 cans of wonderful food, but if you can't open them, you're just looking at the metal cylinders with disappointment. Electric can openers are not what you need. That old one, which barely works, should be thrown away. Buy a quality, easy-to-use manual can opener that doesn't jam and doesn't make you angry during dinner. I recommend Easy Does It or Swing Away. They are made very strong and really work. You will be grateful to yourself when eating chili by candlelight. Next in line is an axe or a splitter. When there is no gas, electricity, or central heating, your ability to process firewood becomes critically important. You will need firewood for the campfire, to clear fallen branches, build a shelter if necessary, or even for self-defense if the situation becomes severe. A quality axe, such as from Fiskars or Husqvarna, is suitable for chopping, splitting, and breaking. Just remember to keep it sharp, respect it, and do not swing it around if you don't know what you're doing. I learned a lesson from my own experience at 20 when I almost injured my shin trying to impress at a campsite. Now let's talk about what people forget until it's too late. A hand crank radio. This small device is more powerful than it seems. It provides access to weather alerts from NOAA, AM, and FM broadcasting, as well as emergency information, even when the rest of the world is disconnected. Choose a model that also charges devices via USB, has a built-in flashlight, and automatically receives weather alerts. Brands like Midland, Eaton, and Running Snail offer excellent models. The manual drive means you don't need batteries. Just a few minutes of winding provides hours of listening. When information is worth its weight in gold and rumors spread, access to real news and weather updates can be the deciding factor between a wise decision and a fatal mistake. That's the point. When everything becomes manual, these tools are not just useful. They are essential. They support the operation of your systems, the stability of your shelter, and your mental balance. Consider them like your Swiss Army knife for survival. You may not use them daily, but when you need them, they will truly be essential. Stock up on them now and learn to use them before the lights go out. And finally, sixth, hygiene and sanitation supplies. We discussed food, water, energy, light,